I never aspired to be a college president. I was very happy doing research, teaching, and hoping to live up to the role model I had in Dr. Catherine Salinger, my graduate thesis advisor. But after 40 years in higher education, the Lord had a different plan for me. In the spring of 2020, I knew very little about Kansas when the search consultant, Rick Artman, called and asked me to apply for the Newman presidency. In my days at DePauw, I collaborated with and was inspired by several women faculty who were pioneering in their thinking about higher education, particularly in the sciences. My president there, Dr. Bob Bottoms, also showed me how to be a transformative leader. And one day he said to me, when encouraging me to consider more significant leadership roles, "I'm really not sure why anyone would want to be an academic dean. Being a president is much easier and a lot more fun." Sometimes the Lord has to just get your attention in a dramatic fashion. And he does so in order for you to see his plan more clearly. So none of this was in my plan, but he's starting to get my attention regarding his plan. Accepting that plan was a challenge. At last, I was getting the message with some clarity that I should use my more than 40 years of higher ed experience to serve as a president. I researched Newman University, and I learned of its rich history, built by pioneering ASC sisters, and of its core values that aligned nicely with my own priorities. You've heard them before today. The Newman Code further identifies that members of this community pledge to live by the tenets of Catholic social teaching, including respecting the dignity of every person, striving to embrace all humanity, honoring both personal and institutional integrity, and living in the spirit of critical consciousness that hungers and thirsts for justice. I couldn't believe how well this university mission and values fit my own beliefs and priorities. So I applied. After I returned home from my interview and was offered the position, Sister Vicky sent me a copy of a book about Saint Maria de Matthias titled Obedient Rebel. And I knew immediately we had some things in common. While I'm not sure I can live up to Sister Matthias' legacy, I do share her faith in God and her view that the enterprise of education at Newman University is also God's enterprise. Today marks a new chapter in the history of this great university, a day to celebrate the future potential and our past. It's a day for gratitude, for hope, and here in the air capital of the universe, a day for flying high on the wings of prayer with the grace of the Holy Spirit, soaring with the promise of a better tomorrow. So soaring for Newman will mean what? Soaring above the turbulence of today's challenges in higher education. Opening up our commitment to community beyond the boundaries of our campus. Acting with courage to open doors, with compassion to lift up others. Rising to a new level of equity and inclusion in the midst of a diverse population. Inspiring a culture of academic innovation and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Navigating a spirit of awe and wonder that all we have yet to understand. Growing in students a passion for lives of purpose, flourishing, in which they work for the greater good with enthusiasm, determination, and joy. Leading from a position of confidence and humility, lest we become inebriated with privilege. Cultivating the intellect in a transformative manner, coupled with an entrepreneurial spirit, so as to empower our graduates to transform society. It is both a privilege and a tremendous responsibility to educate the next generation of saints and leaders. But we need the grace of the Holy Spirit to do so. After a short time in Wichita, I see great promise for Newman University and its students to continue soaring. And I look forward to leading through whatever the future may bring. Now let's soar. The moment of lift is near. Thank you.